So we're doing another DIY candy kit. This one's called Kracie Poppin Cookin Tanoshii cakes online. And then I have here the translation of what we've got going on from Papa. So it's a delightful cake shop. It's just like the real thing. To slurp. To be formed only by water. With cream in one mouth. Decorations. 2 soft ice creams. A slight build-up of preservative, synthetic coloring 0. So no preservatives, no synthetic coverings. I don't think that's true. That's probably a mistranslation. Strawberry vanilla flavor. That sounds true. Tart, cake, and then what do we have up here? Develop rich creativity, educational confectionery. And then let's see. So on the sides we have the warnings. Make sure to make it according to the way you make it. There may be wafer powder in the tray. Should I microwave? Be careful not to bite or swallow the spoon. Please note that the end of the cut tray is pointed. Don't eat big snacks at once. Cut them into small pieces and chew them well. After making sweets and enjoying them, please eat them immediately. It is difficult for small children to make it. Parents, please help them. Paper. And then we are doing everything in our product. But if you happen to have an accident, please send the actual product in the outer box to our customer consultation office. I'll replace it with the postage. Customer consultation office. There we go. Oops. Hang on here. Phone is not behaving. Next slide. And then once again, we are assured that it is a delightful cake shop. Just like the real thing. That's where the opening is. Let's make it and eat it. Put the cream away. Decorations. That's all I've had on this one. And then, oh, come on now. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see it. Hang on. There we go. And let's make it and eat it. Alright. And then on the last side, we have Delightful Cake Shop. Just like the real thing. Make it and eat it with cream in one's mouth. Decorations. For video, tutorial, and recipes in other languages, please visit here. Here's how to make it in 4 languages. That's no fun. We have a translator. We're going to use that. This is just the ingredient type of things. May contain eggs. Alright. And then we have our instructions. So let's see. It says to cut out the triangular cups. What's in it? Let's see. I will take all the contents out of the owl, spread the owl clean, and make Osara, Maki Baker, and Kikiyasa recipe. Cut wafers and make cake on top. Make cake yashi. Okay, hang on a second. Ah, there we go. A little closer up. There we go. I'll take out all the contents of the owl, spread the owl clean, and make a Sarah Maki paper and cake yashi. Cut the wafers and make cakes on top of the let's see here. Let's wipe the table clean and show our hands before I make it. Here's my hand. The other hand. Table is clean. We'll drain the water. It's not until you read how you make it. So apparently we have to read first. All right. So we're gonna prepare it by cutting out the triangle. Let's see. And I guess get up to the water line, not below it. Alright, so first it wants me to cut the wafers. So let's prepare the stuff first. Sorts of interesting shapes there. Oh, there is indeed wafer crumbs inside. Okay. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to shake that. There we go. Alright. And we've got some more scissor stuff going on here, so give me a minute to. Oh, and more paper crumbs. Let me cut this out. Alright. Cutting. Oh my. Alright. So let's see, there are words on both sides here. So let me get the translator back out. All right. Just thinking about it. Okay. You can look at this one. Oh, I'm looking at this one. All right. And more. Okay. Oh. So we've got a red one. I'll do this one. Yeah. While we're looking at them, let's see here. This one says, ladder, base of cream, a nice cake shop. How to make it by looking at the package. Base of cream. Alright, so remember that one's base of cream. This one is let's see, vanilla base of cream. Please look at the instructions for the package. Yes. says. Let's see, squeezing blister, left, right, cutting edge. Alrighty. And then here we've got some wafers. Alright. I'll put that to the side note. So, the ones we were looking at on this thing here. Let's see. Alright, so this one says tips on how to make sourdough cream. Let's see, where are you? There we go. It's easy to see on that. I'm getting smaller and smaller. Don't be impatient until the last minute. When you're done with your ore, pull it straight up. Tips on how to make tarts. Be careful not to make any gaps. Let's move the zigzag slowly. Tips on how to make a cake. Place the wafer gently so it won't be crushed. Let's see. Be careful not to make any gaps. Tips on how to make the cake. Place the wafer gently. Squeeze the cream in the shape of drops and put it on top. Cut the wafer here. This is for us to cut things on. Alright. And then this side over here. So this one says Serrato cream sewn out. Fun cookie run. Let's put it in a cone. Tape the chopsticks. Let's see. Cut and play along the Katori line with scissors. Well, all right then. And then up here it says plate and paper roll, a plate of cake, a delightful cake shop, the 12th of the month. All right, well, I feel like we have enough information to get started for sure. So, back to our instructions. So it wants us to cut this up into 3 pieces. Move this so we have a little room to work with. And while that is a lovely plate, if you wanted to use it for a plate, but I actually have some small dishes to make use of here. We have the shovel, a very common tool in these kits. We have this wafer. I'll put the wafers I'm not currently using in another dish. 2 cones, impressively in shape for how long it took for these to get here. Alright, so these are each meant to be, let's see, so one gets cut in half, I think. And then the other one gets cut into 3. So this one's already in half, so that'll be our half one. And then this one, call that a third. Call that a third. All right. Not too bad. All right. What's next? Let's see, cut it one more time with a thud. Don't let it stop. So hopefully that's enough. Cut it to the size you want. I feel like I'm happy with that. All right. So now it's a lot of working with the powder. So the vanilla cream on 2 large, I don't like the picture. Squeezing the blister becomes the front and holds the base of the strawberry cream like that. I'll put it all the way to Kracie. Put a cup of water in it, vanilla cream and water on the right side, and mix well with a spoon. Fill the side with strawberry cream. So I think what it's saying is that each of these get 1 cup and 1 pack. and then you're kind of filling, I think you're kind of side by side, the vanilla and strawberry, so that you get, like down here you can kind of see it's going to be a double color when it comes out, if we do it right. So let's get this mixed up first. All right. So, gonna do this here. All right. So, I don't have an indicator of what's what. I do have some wafer crumbs, so there we go. All right, that's better. But in here it should tell me which side is which. Okay, it does. All right, the blue one's going in here, the pink one's going in here. All right. Oh, and I need to cut this off, sorry. This is the biggest one of these little triangle cuts I've ever seen. The blue one was the vanilla, right? Got it all? Yeah, okay. So now we need some water. Get some, ooh, sorry, I meant to make you shake. Oh. I see. Okay, that's why it was telling us. This one is kind of a pain to fill the water all the way. I don't want to get my wafers wet, so ooh. Hang on. All right. Here we go. All right. And mix that up. So I had one of these like literally a million years ago. I should say figuratively a million years ago. Literally maybe 20 years ago. And at the time, did not super care for it. But let's see if it tastes any better nowadays. Maybe improve the recipe. Okay. Now we need this guy. And the water. Let's do the water first this time. Okay, here he comes. Alright. I'm sorry. What did I put that water in a bad spot? Okay. It's right next to the brace for the camera. Not particularly helpful. So I'm wondering if we like the camera this close to the kit, or would you like it further back? Because sometimes I have it further back. I feel like you can see all the tools at once, but maybe you only care about what is actively going on. So. So while I'm mixing this, I remind myself, oh yes, that's right. So the next thing is putting it in the this guy here. Looks pretty mixed to me. Yeah, I don't see any more powdery bits. Alright. So, question I have. Okay, so it just wants us to cut the tip. So, that answers that question. Another kit I've had where you get one of these, they usually include a little toothpick to poke a hole, and you kind of do that first beater, I guess. So I like to make my life easier and start way down here. I don't like getting anything on my fingers. I did wash my hands, and I showed you my hands. Okay, so okay, so we only one spoon comes with the kit. However, I like to keep my spoons. So I have another spoon here. That will be the vanilla spoon, so we don't have to take time to clean them in the meantime. So I'm going to keep some on one side, some on the other side is the concept here. Let's see if I can deliver upon the concept. Alright. Here's one side. Here's the other side. Ooh, it's cold. Guess the water must be cold. One side. Whoop. Here's the other side. Hold down a little bit. I feel like maybe the camera's too close, but you can let me know. Alright, this side. And this side. That's touching. Okay. No touchy. Alright. We can get one in there. Okay. And this side. Bit more. Bit more. Alright, and last bits. Like that. Just go right up to the line here. Let's see if we can get a little. sink. Mm-mm. All right. Okay. So, imagine our next direction. Is to scrape this down. Don't think I did too bad with that. Okay. Nice. Okay. What's it say next? Okay. So that wasn't it. So from above to do, little clip and push it down from the top. And then I'll put back the wet blanket that I had been hiding. Put the cream down and twist it, cut it with scissors along the line under the owl. Shit, an owl. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna make the soft serve first. So let's clip this first. See where I'm meant to twist it. Twisty. Alright. That's good. Get the plate back underneath this. I'll make a huge mess. Alright. And just I'm gonna do right near the bottom. Just get the tip. Alright, there we go. And so for the ice cream. Alright. It says let's make it in combination. Soft ice cream, preparation comb, a wafer that is cut into small pieces. Place the ice cream on top like a swirl. Decorate with wafers and toppings. You can make 2. All right. And then the other one is the tart wafer that is cut into small pieces. Alexa, turn on the light, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Put the wafer in the tart. Decorate with cream and toppings. And then let's see, squeeze the cream onto the wafer and place it on top of it. Decorate with the cream and the toppings. So I think I'm actually going to do the tart and the wafer stack first. I feel like it'll be easier to do those than try and hold the ice creams up from making a mess. So here, let me get little plates for the tarts and where'd the tart go? There's the tart. So, do the tart first. All right. So, how they have the tart going on? Put the wafer in the tart. So they want a wafer in here. Where's the long wafer? There's the long wafer. I'm assuming that they want I guess something like this. I'm not quite sure why we're doing that, but I'm game. So they had more of a triangle going in here, but for the finished look, something like that. I guess you're basically like raising it up a little bit. See if I can flatten that out a little bit. There we go. All right, and then they have a little kind of wiggle of the icing. Oh, maybe that's just too small. Hang on. Okay. And then they said to bring out the decorations. So we can make some choices here. I'm going to just do a little sprinkle. And then we want kind of a distinct pattern around the outside, so we'll see if I can do that. There we go. Okay. Not too bad on that side. Whoop. There we go. See if there's a little salvaging of the side I dropped. There we go. And you get that in there. Alright, that's pretty cute. Putting on our little. Where's the plate that can hold this up right? Ah, here we go. So, alright, and then what do we say? The wafers next, right? So here's a square wafer. Where'd the rest go? Ah, there. Okay. So for the wafers, they have kind of, let's see if I can do it, basically like, oop, and then my on screen, oop, off screen, loop, like that, like that, like that. Yep, that's what they look like. And then you put that guy in. I think it's actually supposed to be more than that, but I'll make this one a little more. Fill in the sandwich. Okay. And then that. So that one's actually the flattest of the, the widest of the three, so I'm going to flip this over. Alright. And then they're basically like, get fancy on top, so let's see if I can. That's pretty fancy. And then again, they want sprinkles to get involved. There we go. Alright. And so this one's done. This one can go on this plate. Looks like this from the side. Oh. Ah. Okay. So now we're done to the ice creams, and there's a little bit of wafer left. So I guess we're just taking this and start filling in the ice cream cone. So I just want to make sure these guys kind of have a similar amount, so I'm going to do the same here. Okay. Alright. Oh, and then I take a second and scooch this down. Ah, now I feel confident in our mouth again. There we go. All right, so I feel like that's not terrible, but it's also not filling out this outer bit. It's a little awkward looking for ice cream. Maybe I could do better on the second time. See if this can. Ooh, nope. That will not hold it up. Oh, here. Silly me. The container told the answer all along of how to hold the ice cream cones up while you were decorating them. All right. So let's start on the outer edge this time. Fill it in. Now start building it up. So I think if I had cut myself a bigger hole initially, I'd be able to do a little bit more ice cream-esque design. This is just not quite. A little more brain than ice cream. I wonder if I have the right tool to kind of smooth this out here. Here's a spoon. There we go. That looks a little more like a scoop ice cream than a soft serve, but I feel like it looks better overall. Now let me add a little bit to this one. Alright. And then kind of smooth that out too. Which is a shame because it did seem to have that kind of like here you can kind of see here. It did have that soft serve, half vanilla, half something else thing going on. There we go. I did suggest to shove one of these in there, like so, and then we're in the sprinkles. Add some sprinkles on it. Oh no. Okay. That's looking a little more like ice cream. Okay. Oh. Let's do the same for this guy. Get some ice cream sprinkles on here. I am one for sprinkles. So. Okay. So yeah, but you get, whoa! Oh man, that fell so bad. Oh, not on camera even. You can see it. But, sprinkles everywhere. Complete devastation. Hang on. Alright, you don't need to be right there. Oh, and we have one wafer left. Let's just make this one. There we go. And yeah, I bet we can fix this one up a little bit too. Okay. We've successfully used up all the cream. Shall now work on distributing the sprinkles more properly. I like the back side of the ice cream cones in particular to not get enough sprinkles. Okay. Please don't fall over. Please don't fall over. All right. There we go. And now we have our finished, oh, this is ready. Finished feast here. Boop, boop. We have our little leftovers. Hello. We have our little triple stack. Oh, hang on for the. There you go there. All right. We have our tart. Oh, easy there. And then we have not one, but two different ice cream cones. So now the moment of truth is I will eat them. feel like I should start with a cone since there's two of them. There is a distinct, how are we calling this? There's something about the texture that reminds me of toothpaste. I think the cone on its own is probably a little bit, I don't know if it's better or worse, but it's different than the cone I had once upon a time. I think the icing is also better than it was because I remember it being grosser. I wouldn't like say this is terrible or anything. It's just texture wise, you'll either like it or you hate it. I think maybe a 2. It's just there's so much all at once of the icing. Like, that second bite was better. And that cone was better because I think there's a more even ratio of wafer to like crunch to icing. Like here, I'll take this guy next. So this one is mostly or evenly icing, whereas this one is more, I feel like this one has more wafer. So let's see. So I feel like it definitely needs, so it's Sorry, I need water. I don't know that I'd like the icing on its own. I think it definitely needs the texture of the sprinkles and like some sort of wafery thing to give it a contrast. Again, it's not like it's the worst thing I've ever eaten. It's just not as amazing as some of the things I've had. You do taste the strawberry. I'd say you probably do taste the vanilla. Oh, those wafers, I guess, have been sitting a little longer with the icing, and they're softer. So maybe that's why it tells you to do those last, because the wafer comes through more almost gummy at this point. I have drunk a surprising amount of water with this. I think I have like a 30-ounce cup or something that I'm drinking alongside this, and like I've got like 1 sip left. So this is again a more similar material to the cone, but it is slightly different color, I think. So maybe it's not quite the same recipe. Let's see. So I forgot we put the wafer down there. Now I'll leave that wafer. No, okay, it's a little softer. That's interesting. Because then you kind of get like the idea of pie, right? Or custard where there's some sort of filling in the middle because it does soften the wafer. So that's interesting. Effect. I think of everything. This little tart thing is my favorite of the options there. Like if there was like 3 or 4 tarts to decorate and then like an ice cream cone and maybe a wafer tower to make, I think that would be better. It's because I feel like this is the one you can kind of do a lot of different things decorating it, and also it makes for easier better ratio, right, than the ice cream cone, of cream to crunchy. And this one, it was very like top heavy. So like there are holes in here to help you um, hold the ice cream and not have it knock all over. But like I had two in here and it still wanted to like it fell over at one point. So it's not perfect at holding them. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can taste it on its own. It's great. Almost everything in here, so there's not a lot of stuff in here, but yeah, something very, very toothpastey about the texture. Not the taste, but the texture. For that, it definitely needs the crunch. Oh yeah, so definitely not my favorite one. I do have another variation of it. This one with English instructions. So I might do that one soon so I can compare the two while it's still in my head. But yeah, so that's Tanoshii cakes, which is amusing to me too because there's only one cake and a tart. So I wouldn't say cakes. All right. So, but either way, it was still fun to make. I am still blanking on this pastry bag. I like the pastry bag concept. That was fun. It was fun to get to mix like such a big amount because usually you're working with very small amounts. And the different kinds of like cones and crunch and the crunch of the sprinkles was neat that it plays a lot with texture, I guess. And it definitely benefits from the fact that they're like, okay, let's have different textures in here. So yeah. Yeah, I at some point I should come up with some sort of grading system or these or something. But yeah, I think I like that. Would I get it again? Maybe. Would I get something else if it was available? Possibly something else over this, depending on what it was. Alright. Yeah, have a good one.